What's up, man? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode we are going to be looking back at the other games in the BGSU Season 11 playoff. In our first matchup, we are going to have California versus Michigan in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. In our second game, we are going to have Georgia versus Rutgers in the Prudential Rose Bowl. And in our last matchup, which you will see on the screen here in just a second, we have Cincinnati versus UCLA in the Capital One Orange Bowl. And just like with any other video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, that way you'll be notified the next time I drop a video just like this one, and also slide in the comment section and let me know how you feel about these style of videos. I appreciate y'all. Alright, early in the ball game, we got Michigan versus Cal. Draylon Steen drops back and he's going to get sacked. Not much going on here early in this football game. After the punt, Cal has the ball and all they have to do is pick up inches, but they're going to be stopped short like a midget. They got a punt. On the next possession, Michigan has a 3rd and 8 and they decide to hand it off to Kyrie Evans, and he's going to pick up 17 yards and the first down. A couple plays later, we got a 3rd and 7. Draylon Steen is going to drop back and he's going to find nobody. Michigan will be forced to punt the ball again. After the Michigan punt, the quarterback from Cal, Joe Boyd, is going to find his target across the middle, Rodney Pittman, and he's going to pick up 34 yards and the first down. Cal might be cooking now. 1st and 10 for Cal. Joe Boyd's going to drop back and he's going to get sacked like the groceries in Walmart, son. Pick yourself up, my boy. 2nd and 18, they are going to try to sneak a run here in on a play, and Michigan is not going for it. That boy caught nothing but shoulder pad to the chin. And just like the heavy items in Walmart, when you go up there and get them sacked, sometimes you got to sack them again. That's what Michigan does to Joe Boyd. They put him in the dirt, make it hurt. That defense is going to work. After Cal punts the ball and Michigan picks up a couple first downs, they give out a donation to California. They said, here, why don't you take the football back and try your drive again, because we don't want it. That's Kevin Robinson with the interception. After losing yards on the first 2 plays, what will Cal do with the football on 3rd and 14?
Not a damn thing.
Well, at least they in field goal range right now. And speaking of the field goal, Cal will kick that and they will make it to go up 3 here in the second quarter, 4:22 left. Michigan, how are you going to respond to that offensive drive? I mean, you literally gave them a field goal with that interception. And speaking of giving, Draylon Steen is going to drop back and give his target a 26-yard reception. That is Phil McGrew on the end of that first down catch. Seems like Michigan is trying to build a little momentum here. Draylon Steen is 9 of 11. I don't know, man. Michigan might have something cooking right here in the second quarter. Here in the Peach Bowl. On 2nd down and 8, after picking up 2 on first down, Draylon Steen is going to do it all by himself, and he's going to pick up the first down. On 2nd and 6, Michigan is going to hand it off to Brian Corbett, and he's going to do a Mario jump up in the air. What are you doing, my boy? After not doing much on 2nd and 1st down, they're going to get dropped for a sack. Draylon Steen loses 7 yards on 3rd down. It's going to be 4th and goal. Michigan is going to be forced to kick a field goal to try to tie the football game up with 2 minutes to go in the second. And tie the football game up is exactly what they're going to do. We now have a tie football game here with 1:20 left in the second quarter, getting real close to halftime. And speaking of halftime, that's where we headed, because nothing else happened in the first half to talk about. Cal and Michigan are tied. Cal is leading the passing yards 104-91. Michigan is leading the rush yards 94 to -7. Cal has -7 rush yards in this game. That's not going to help you win. And of course, Michigan leading in rushing. They're also leading in the time of possession. And for the first drive of the second half, Cal has the football and Joe Boyd is going to pick up 11 yards on the ground. On the very next play, he's going to drop back the pass. He's going to find his man on the sideline, and they're going to pick up 14. On the next set of downs, we got 2nd and 4. We're going to have a direct snap to Kyle Fenner. He's going to pick up the first down to keep this drive going. On the next set of downs, we got a 2nd and 5. Kyle's going to run a little triple option. They gonna pitch it, and they gonna pick up another first down. It's Justin Woods. This time we got a 3rd and 3. We're gonna hand it off to Kyle Fenner, and they gonna pick up another first down after he gets 15 yards on the ground. Yes, sir. This time we got a 3rd and goal. Will they be able to get in the end zone? Yes, they will. We got Luke Doyle with the 12-yard reception from Joe Boyd. California is up by 7. On the next drive, Michigan is going to run a little option here. Going to pitch it to Kyrie Emmons. He's going to mush a man in the face, and he's going to pick up 36 yards. A 36-piece nugget out the drive-through of McDonald's for number 2. He said, man, how would you like these mashed potatoes right in your face? Get up off me, son. Let me run. It's Big M. We ain't done. On the next play, Draylon Steen said, you gonna get you a 36-piece nugget and you ain't gonna get me none? All right, I'm gonna take this one all by myself to the drive-thru. I'm gonna get a 30-piece. Yes, sir. And I ain't sharing with nobody. It's all mine. And I ain't sharing because sharing is caring, and I don't care. On the next play, Jalen Steen was like, you know I was lying, right? Let me share this with Brian Corbett. He can get him an 8-piece out of this 30. You know what I'm saying? You can get a little bit, my boy. I ain't completely selfish. You know what I'm saying? Gotta share a little bit with the team. And we got a tie ball game. On the next drive, Joe Boyd is like, oh, y'all out here sharing nuggets? Let me share a little bit. He gonna find his target on the sideline and pick up a first down. On the next play, he drops back. He's gonna find another target for another first down. Joe Boyd is like, y'all quarterback is selfish. I don't mind dishing these things out. I'm gonna find another receiver on the sideline. And when I don't want to pass it, I'll just pitch it and pick up another first down. That's Kyle Fenner on the receiving end. And on 3rd and goal, just when you thought this drive was going to end in the end zone, they're going to be stopped short. Joe Boyd picks up 0 yards on 3rd and goal, and Kyle will be forced to kick a field goal to go up 13-10 early in the 4th quarter with 7:14 to go. On the next drive, Draylon Steen decides he wants to share the ball with the other team. He's going to pitch it right to the cornerback. And that's Jerry King, the freshman, getting in on the action, getting him a little piece of the playoff picture by forcing a turnover. After Michigan gave Kyle good field position, what are they going to do? They're going to get stopped short. And they're going to have to kick another field goal. At some point, you're going to have to be able to put the ball in the end zone. And Kyle has one of the top passing offenses in the country. I don't know where it is right now, though. On the next drive, let's see how Michigan is going to respond to the turnover. Draylon Steen going to find Tyler Brown for the 13-yard reception and a first down. A couple plays later, Draylon Steen finds Ryan Bozeman for the first down on the 12-yard reception, and they keeping that drive going. Let's see if Michigan can actually get in the end zone on this drive. Draylon Steen drops back. He finds his halfback. He's going to break a tackle to 30 to 25 to 20 to 15 to 10 to 5 and a touchdown. That is Jason McKnight. And if I'm not mistaken, Jason McKnight is a custom recruit. Now, whoever made Jason McKnight, I don't remember exactly, but he's making plays in the college football playoff. Nice to see some custom recruits out here doing their thing. Yes, sir. Now would be a good time to put that passing offense to work since you are down by 1 with 1:50 left. But no, they gonna get stopped on 3rd down. It is 4th and 9, and you would think they have to go for it here. And on 4th and 8, this has got to be one of the worst play calls I ever seen in my life. Why run the ball on 4th and 8 with the game on the line? And that's how Kyle loses. Michigan gets the ball, and they run the clock out. This is the play of the game. Actually, I agree with this play of the game right here. Jason McKnight breaking a tackle, getting into the end zone, putting the team up 17 to 16, and Michigan did not look back from there. I don't know where Kyle's number 1 passing offense was in this game, but it was definitely not here. Michigan was able to run the ball and control the clock, and their defense was pretty good. I will say that defense was pretty good. Actually, both defenses were pretty good. Draylon Steen didn't look the best, but he did enough to win this football game. And the player of the game was Brian Corbett, 8 carries, 50 yards, and a TD. And let's head over to the Rose Bowl between Georgia and Rutgers. Rutgers has the football here with 5:48 left in the first quarter, and it's going to be an incomplete pass from Tyler Engel. And Rutgers is forced to kick a field goal, and they will do that. 3 points on the board, and they go up 3-0 on the 3 seed Georgia. On the next position, Michael White, he made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. Kirby Smart took me to the line. He wrote a check and bought a drop. A couple plays later, Michael White hands it off to Jason Houston as he mushes a man in the face and picks up a first down. 2 plays later, Georgia has a 3rd and 4. Michael White is going to find his target, but he's going to be dropped short as Dane Moore picks up 2 yards. And Georgia is forced to kick a field goal to try to tie the football game up. And kick the field goal is exactly what they are going to try to do. But unfortunately, that kicker has a noodle leg. It is short. Oh my God, boy, you need to get in the weight room, work on your legs today. You know what I'm saying? Right after the game, I had that boy doing squats.
Oh, shit!
After picking up a couple first downs and getting to Georgia territory, Rutgers decides they want to hand out a donation. And he will go the way. It's gonna be a Georgia Bulldog pick 6, and that's how Georgia is gonna get on the board here in the first quarter. A pick 6. Tyler Ingle threw it directly to the opposing team. Boy, that's a hell of a way to give out donations here in the Rose Bowl. I wish I was in attendance so I could get some of those handouts, my boy, because I really need them right now. But unfortunately, they are only handing them out to Georgia right now.
Oh, my God!
How will Rutgers respond to the pick 6 on the next drive? By throwing it into the dirt. Tyler Ingle could not find his man, and Georgia takes over after the punt. Michael White's going to find his man Orlando McFarland for a first down. That's how you pass the ball to your teammates, Tyler Ingle. Michael White, he made me hot. He decided to take it himself and get the first down. On the next play, Michael White, he made me hot. He's going to take it himself again with another first down. And we are into the second quarter. Georgia has a 3rd and 8. Michael White looking, finds his man Dane Moore, and they are in scoring position now, son. And on the very next play, Michael White, he made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. Kirby Smart took me to the lot. He wrote check and bought a drop. Michael White gets up into the end zone with the option play. The Dogs are up 14-3. On the next drive, Tyler Ingle is going to pass the ball to absolutely nobody on 3rd down and 2. On Georgia's next possession, Michael White, he made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. Kirby Smart took me to the line. He wrote a check and bought a first down. Michael White doing it with his legs. A couple plays later, on 3rd down and 4, Michael White is going to find his target, Brian Britton. He's going to pick up a 17-yard reception and a first down to keep the chains moving. Georgia trying to put some more points on the board. Rutgers, what are you gonna do? We need something from you. And on 3rd and 6, the Rutgers defense decides they finally want to step up. Michael White is gonna throw the ball to the other team. It's an interception. Oh my God, Michael White, when you was doing it with your legs, now you try to do it with your arm and you throw it right to Tyler Newberry. And that's Georgia's first turnover of the game. A couple plays later on the next drive, Rutgers hands it off to Kevin Hines, and Kevin Hines said, "This touchdown right here is all mine." 15-10-5 touchdown. Kevin Hines with a 72-yard run to put the Rutgers football team on the board and get that score a little closer, as if they get the extra point, it will be 10-14. That's a big run on that Georgia defense. And speaking of Georgia, it seems like their offense didn't hit a roadblock. Michael White don't throw the ball to absolutely nobody except the people that's on the sideline. Your teammates over there can't do nothing for you. At least Michael White was throwing the football to his teammates on the sideline. Tyler Ingle is throwing the football to the other team. He's gonna get picked off by Bo Poole. Bo said if you get too far off in this pool, you might drown, and that's exactly what happened to Tyler Ingle. Michael White said he trying to redeem himself from his interception. He gonna find his man across the middle. He gonna pick up a first down. It's Dane Moore with 13 yards. Michael White said, "Man, I think I want to go on vacation." Where you gonna go? Down to Orlando McFarland with the 36-yard TD reception. Yes, sir. Orlando down there eating up in the end zone. He said, "What you eating?" "Some old Rutgers." You know what I'm saying? I just fried that man. Deep fried to be exact. Crispy. Put some lemon pepper on it. Man, at this point, I believe Tyler Ingle believes this October 31st and it's Halloween, because he's handing out their football like it's candy. there's another donation to the Georgia Bulldog defense. And that's the cornerback Allen Dennis getting his first interception of the day. And there will be 3 interceptions total for Tyler Ingalls so far in this game. Bruh, stop turning the ball over. We want to see y'all do something on the offensive side. At least I do anyway. And that will pretty much wrap it up for the first half of this football game. Georgia leading away 155 yards passing to their 80. But Rutgers has 156 rushing to Georgia's 99. So it's kind of even if you look at Rutgers rushing yards to Georgia's passing yards and Georgia's rushing yards to Rutgers passing yards. The yards kind of even out a little bit. The only difference really in this football game is the amount of turnovers that Rutgers has. They have 3 turnovers. Georgia only has 1. And they also lead in the time of possession 8-43 to 7-17. Rutgers just has to stop turning the football over and this game will be a lot closer. And on the flip side, if Georgia can keep those turnovers down and continue to move the ball, they'll be all right. And speaking of Georgia, they have the ball here to begin the second half. And Michael Watt gonna hand out himself a little candy to the other team like it's Halloween. That's Peter Morrison from Rutgers, the strong safety, getting his first interception of the game. And that's the second interception from Michael Watt. And what will Rutgers do when they get the football? Absolutely nothing. Stop on third down. They try to run the ball and they get stuffed. And speaking of stuff, Michael Watt is going to stuff another piece of candy into the opposing team's hands. That's another interception. Boy, you got to believe that they believe that it's October the 31st, Halloween, son. They just passing candy around like it's nothing. And this time, Rutgers is actually going to capitalize on the turnover. Rutgers is going to find a man in the back of the end zone. That's Scott Leonard for the 14-yard touchdown pass. Tyler Ingalls said, I'm going to bounce back, man. I know I got 3 picks, but I'm going to get 6 on this one, you know what I'm saying? And on the next possession, Michael Watt trying to redeem himself. He's going to find his man across the middle, and they are going to pick up another first down. That's Jarrett McKenzie with the 27-yard reception. On that same drive, Michael Watt says, I'm going to do it all by myself. Let me get that first down and a little more. Get up off me. It's Michael Watt. He made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. Kirby Smart took me to the lot, and you wrote a check and bought a first down, son. Look at Michael Watt using them legs for another big gain. Georgia's right on the edge of the red zone. They're going to run a little option here. Michael Watt going to pitch it to Walter McCormick as he picks up 16 yards and a first down. Georgia is on a drive trying to respond to what Rutgers just did to them, and it looks like they might just do it. A couple plays later, it's 3rd down and 6, and Michael Watt almost throws another pick. Oh, it was batted down by Tyler Lynch. And Tyler Lynch already has an interception. I'm surprised he did not pick that one off as well. But Georgia kicks the field goal, and they go up by 7, 24-17. On the next possession, Rutgers trying to put together a response. Tyler Ingalls is going to find Daniel London for the 21-yard reception. A couple plays later, we got a 3rd down and 3 for Rutgers, and they're going to be stopped short. Actually stopped behind the line. Tyler Ingalls getting stuffed. And Rutgers says, forget it. It's win or go home. We're going to let our nuts hang, and we're going to dump it off to the halfback, and he's going to pick up a first down. That's James Nichols getting the first down. Well, if it worked once, let's do it again. We're going to hand it off to James Nichols. This time, he's going to pick up another first down on 3rd down. And a couple plays later, Rutgers has the ball, 2nd and goal. They're going to hand it off to Tyson Prater, and he's going to carry a DB into the end zone for the touchdown. It's a 6-yard run, and Rutgers has tied this football game up, even after all those interceptions that quarterback had. And on Georgia's next possession, Michael Watt, he made me hot. Hard work took me to the top. Kirby Smart took me to the lot, and he wrote a check and bought a first down. First down, Michael Watt, 48-yard run. That boy went to McDonald's and got him 48 chicken nuggets, and they told him, sir, you're gonna have to wait a little bit to get these nuggets because we got them fry them up fresh. And he said, that's all good with me, son. A couple plays later, Michael Watt finds his man on the sideline. That's Brian Britton for a 20-yard reception, and that's gonna put them in prime position to put another score up on the board. Will it be a field goal or will it be a touchdown? And I might have got ahead of myself just a little too much because I didn't take into account that it might be a fumble on the play. Georgia does recover, and that saves them from having a turnover, and they still can put points on the board. But on third down, sir, you cannot have that. You can't do that, Michael Watt. You're not looking so hot right now. You looking cold like a pizza on the next day. You know what I'm saying? Some ice cream or something. Worst case scenario would have been a turnover, but Georgia does get a field goal, and they are able to go up by 3. And now it's time to see how Rutgers is going to respond to that field goal. We got the quarterback stepping up. He passed the line of scrimmage. He didn't know it. Tyler Engel is going to get a 3-yard rush, but that's not enough to get the first down. And we have Michael Watt looking to his left, and he throws another interception, and this one will be a pick 6. There's another gift for the Rutgers defense. Michael Watt has 4 interceptions in this game. That boy is real friendly with the opposing team. You gotta believe that his teammates think he might be betting on the games right now, son. That boy said, let me bet the over on 3 interceptions on myself. Or better yet, let me do exactly what the opposing QB just did and step up past the line of scrimmage. And now I'm going down on third down. Now Rutgers has the ball with under 3 minutes to go. All they have to do is run some clock and get in the end zone. And they throwing passes out here. But they really letting their cojones show right now. Robert Alvarez with the first down, and he has 43 yards on the game on 3 receptions. And he also broke a record. Shout out to you, Robert Alvarez, and your achievement. Rutgers is out here trying to put the nail in the coffin with a sledgehammer because they still passing the ball, and they gonna pick up 20 more yards through the air. And when you want to cash in, you don't need quarters, you don't need dimes, you don't need pennies. All you need is James Nichols with the 5-yard TD run to get up in there and up the score on Georgia. It is 38-27. And as soon as Georgia gets on the field, Michael Watt, he made me hot, decides he wants to turn the stove on, son. He throws another pick. That's gonna be interception number 5. When you throw 5 interceptions in a game, it's a miracle that you even still on the field. And guess what? You're not gonna be on the field for too much longer as they take a knee and get out of here with the victory. Man, let's get over here to the final game of this video. We got UCLA, Cincinnati. UCLA picking up a first down. It's Justin Waller with the 19-yard reception. Okay, we got some offense earlier in this game. Nice to see that. The quarterback, Darrell Lane, 1 for 1 so far. Okay, let's get it popping. Nice to see it. I'm ready. On the next play, we got Darrell Lane dropping back, and he's going to find Steve Greer on the sideline for a 15-yard reception. Nice to see some quarterback play where they aren't throwing interceptions every other play, because that's what was happening in the previous game. And on 2nd and 4, Darrell Lane is going to drop back again. He's going to find Justin Waller again. He's going to pick up another first down, and that's 18 yards. Justin Waller and Darrell Lane looking good so far here early in the game, and it's been working so far. Let's drop Darrell Lane back again, but this time he's going to get hit, and it's going to be an incomplete pass on third down. UCLA is going to have to settle for a field goal and try to go up 3-0, and I believe that's exactly what they're going to do here. It's a short field goal, and he kicks it right through the uprights, and UCLA is up 3-0. And we got Cincinnati on the field for the first time. We're going to hand it off to Patrick Bray, and he's going to pick up 14 yards and a first down. Okay, a couple plays later on 3rd and 2, we got some Wildcat offense going on here. We got Brandon Pure Cocaine picking up 6 yards on the ground. A couple plays later on 2nd and 13, we got Brandon Pure Cocaine picking up a big gain. That is 31 yards on the ground. That boy said he did him a line of the pure cocaine before the game, and he's running like he did that. You know what I'm saying? He said, get up on me, son. A couple plays later on the same drive, Cincinnati trying to get into the end zone, but they gonna be denied. Stopped short. Damian Barrett, 7-yard reception, but he stopped short, and they're gonna have to settle for a field goal, and they're gonna tie the ball game up 3-3 with 2:46 left in the first quarter in the Capital One Orange Bowl. UCLA did a good job passing the ball on their first drive, so they're going to start off their second drive passing, and they're going to pick up 16 yards. On the next play, they're going to pass it again. They're going to pick up another first down, and that is Steve Greer, 22-yard reception. That's back-to-back first downs. Can they pick up 3 straight? They're going to hand it off this time, but it looks like he got some room over there, and yes, they will. They're going to pick up another first down. And Darrell Lane drops back on 3rd and 12, and they're going to pick up all of it except some inches. And when you only got to pick up inches, why you won't just run the ball? Instead, they pass it. 4th and inches. All you needed was inches, and you passed the ball, you big dummies. After the turnover, we got Dwayne Jackson dropping back and finding his favorite drug, pure cocaine. Pure cocaine. Brandon Kane picking up 21 yards and another first down. Boy, down there in Cincinnati, they love doing cocaine, don't they? Oh, man. A couple plays later on 3rd down and 1, Dwayne Jackson gonna drop back, and he's gonna find his man just enough to pick up the first down. A couple plays later, Dwayne Jackson drops back, and he finds his man for another first down. That will be Damian Barrett for 13 yards. Seems like this Cincinnati offense is trying to cook on this drive, but they get to 3rd down and 12. They throw it short, and they are stopped short. Joe Robinson only picks up 3 yards, and they will have to punt it away. Next drive, UCLA has a 3rd and 5. They're going to go to the air, and it's going to be incomplete. They're going to have to punt the ball right back to Cincinnati because they just had a 3 and out. On the next drive, Dwayne Jackson said he's tired of going 3 and out. He's going to find Blake Holmes on the sideline, and it's going to be a big game. And they're going to get all the way down to, it looks like maybe the 1 or the 2, but 54 yards was picked up on that one play between Dwayne Jackson and Blake. I'm going to run up in your home if you not there. You know what I'm saying? I might just try to take a first down. After Blake breaks into your home for a first down, guess what they gonna do? They gonna hand it off to Brandon Pure Cocaine. Pure Cocaine. They gonna do a line of cocaine on your kitchen table as they get in the end zone, and the Bearcat is loving it. After picking up a few first downs on the next drive, Darren Lane is going to be stopped short, and UCLA will be forced to kick it away again. They cannot find anything on the offensive side. It seems like whenever Cincinnati doesn't do a line of pure cocaine, they going back to rehab. They got to kick it away. UCLA gets a big stop on 3rd down. And what does UCLA do with the ball when they get it back? Absolutely nothing.
I'd do it again, and none of you could stop me.
Seems like Cincinnati and UCLA are trying to figure out how many times we can get a 3 and out in the first half. Who's going to get the record? Can UCLA break the chain and get a first down here in the second quarter? I think not. They're going to run the ball on 3rd and 12 and pick up 2 and get stopped. Cincinnati and Dwayne Jackson decides they want to pick up a first down on this drive, and they're going to go across the middle and pick up 8. A couple plays later, Dwayne Jackson's going to find his man on the sideline and pick up another first down. It's good to see a team actually getting first downs here in this first half. Hasn't been that many, and I knew Cincinnati wasn't going to make it to halftime before they decided they wanted to do another line of pure cocaine. Pure cocaine, Brandon Kane. It's 2nd and goal for Cincinnati. Dwayne Jackson drops back, and he's going to find Joe Robinson for the touchdown. 9-yard TD reception for the receiver, and your Cincinnati Bearcats are going up 16, might as well say 17-3 to end the first half. But UCLA said, not so fast, my friend. We still got 6 seconds. We're going to try to do something with it. Darrell Lane drops back. He's going to launch it down the field. Not going to quite make it to the end zone, but it doesn't matter anyway because it's going to get picked off. The first turnover of the game going to come on a Hail Mary, a play that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, and now you got a pick on your stat book. And speaking of the stat book, we'll take a look at the stats right now. Cincinnati is leading in all categories, and they're leading on the scoreboard. They have more passing yards, they have more rushing yards, they've had the ball longer, and they don't have any turnovers. UCLA has the 1 turnover, but UCLA just could not pick up first downs in the first half. Cincinnati was having trouble picking up first downs as well, but they picked up more than UCLA, and they were able to move the ball down the field. They were also doing a lot of cocaine I hope nobody decides to drug test them at halftime. And after halftime, we got Cincinnati with the ball, and they're going to be stopped short. And that UCLA defense is able to get off the field. But the UCLA offense is continuing the trend because they're going to get stopped short on third down again. Another 3 and out for UCLA. And what will the Cincinnati offense cook up on the next drive? Absolutely nothing. Actually, Dwayne Jackson almost got picked off by Vincent Elbert. And just like DJ Khaled, UCLA is going to get another one. Another 3 and out for their UCLA offense. Them boys is pure trash out there. Cincinnati finally got some common sense and they going to hand it off to pure cocaine and pick up the first down. On the next play, Dwayne Jackson is going to hand it off and they're going to get another first down. That's Blake Holmes. And Dwayne Jackson is going to drop back again. And guess who he finds? Blake breaking in your home. I guess Cincinnati wanted to go mud riding because they going to pull out their Clint four-wheeler and get the first down. That's 11 yards on the play. We are in the fourth quarter now. It's 3rd and goal. Cincinnati knocking on the door. They gonna hand it out to pure cocaine. Brandon Kane getting up in the end zone after he did him a whole line. I guess the 21-point lead finally lit a fire under UCLA. They gonna pick up a first down. Oh my God, they got a first down, ladies and gentlemen. Darrell Lane drops back again, and he's gonna find that same target again. Steve Greer across the middle. That's a big pickup, 33 yards. But you know UCLA can go too long without getting stopped on third down. And they really don't have a choice now but to go for it. So they go for it on 4th and 13. Darrell Lane gonna try to find a man on the sideline. It's gonna be batted down by Aaron Reed. UCLA seems to find the only thing worse than a 3 and out, a turnover on downs. On the next possession, 2nd and 13, Cincinnati gonna let the cocaine out the bag and he's gonna pick up a first down. They say ain't nothing worse than loose cane on the field. I guess Cincinnati wasn't done riding in the mud. They're gonna pull out their Clint four-wheeler again and pick up a big first down. Clint Wheeler has 5 receptions for 58 yards, and Dwayne Jackson has 277 passing yards and a TD. Cincinnati cooking UCLA right now. Dwayne Jackson says he ain't done yet. He's gonna find Josh Roth for a first down. 11-yard gain on the play. And Cincinnati says it ain't no real party unless you got some cocaine on the field. Brandon Kane breaking tackles and picking up a first down. That's 16 yards for the cocaine cowboy. 11 carries, 81 yards on the game. Yes, sir. My girlfriend says she want to ride in the mud, but first we got to go to the dealership and get us a Clint four-wheeler in the back of the end zone. 15-yard TD. Dwayne Jackson up over 300 yards in this game, 307 to be exact, and he is the new record holder for TDs in the season, I think. And UCLA is running out of time now. They really got to make something happen on this drive, but they do not. Darrell Lane is going to be sacked for 8 yards. It's 4th and 23. Oh my God, them boys look like they don't even deserve to be in the playoff right now. After UCLA punted the ball back and pretty much waved the white flag, Cincinnati ran the ball and ran the clock out. As you can see, there's only 1 second left, but that's about to go off the clock as well. And the Cincinnati Bearcats will advance to the college football playoff semifinal, and Cincinnati will face off against your BGSU Falcons in the semifinal game. That will be the All-State Sugar Bowl, I believe. And Michigan will face off against Rutgers in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. But I think that will do it for this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you slide in the comments if you want to see more videos like this one where I do voiceovers after the game is finished. Make sure you let me know in the comments. It takes me longer to do videos like this, but I really enjoy doing them. And like I said, if you like them, just let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe, slide in the comments, hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified the next time I drop a video just like this one. But until next time, I'm out.